Okay, so the question that a lot of business owners are asking at the moment is, how do I rank on ChatGPT? Now, we have built a set of AI agents which handle everything to do with AEO. Now, AEO is answer engine optimization, and it's essentially the process that gets you ranking on large language models like Perplexity, ChatGPT, and Claude. So let me introduce you to these AI agents, and we call it the AI Ranking Automation Suite. And like I said, we've got 8 agents here that help cover every single aspect of your AEO. Now, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the setup to these agents. I'm going to walk you through how we've built them on both NA10 and Airtable. I cannot go into detail on how we built every single agent, but I want to give you some ideas on how you can implement these agents, what the most important agents are to implement, and how you can set this up for yourself. Okay, so first thing is first, let's just get an idea of what is important when it comes to ranking on, say, ChatGPT. Number one is, let's have a look at where ChatGPT and AI in general is pulling its answers from. Number one is Reddit, but then we've also got other sources like Wikipedia, YouTube, Google, but also things like LinkedIn, Quora, Pinterest, and this kind of pulls into the most important thing with AEO. It's about your citations, and citations always are going to beat position. So no longer is it about how high you're ranking on Google. That doesn't really play a part. It's more about your general authority on the web. Who is linking to you? Who is talking about you? Where are you being mentioned? Because these are the platforms where AI is pulling its data from. Notice Google is 4th. So the most important thing is to have authority across the internet and to build citations across the internet. So that is the key thing here. We are looking for citations. We're not looking anymore to get number one on Google, because although that's important, we can see here Reddit is actually much higher ranking than Google. 40% of citations from an LLM is pulled from Reddit. Also, there's a technical side to AEO, like how do we structure the data on the web page, because we are optimizing for LLM crawlers. So also, how can we automate that process? We'll go through that below. So what I want to introduce you to is your new AEO team. Now, this is a set of 8 different AI agents which handle every single part of your AEO which needs to be dealt with. We're going to break them down one by one. I'm going to show you, just talk you through firstly what each one of them does. Then I'll show you the front end and how you can build something similar in NA10 and using Airtable as a front end. Okay, so the first one is probably the most important, and this is your Reddit authority building. Now, as we saw above, Reddit is by far the most cited source by ChatGPT, and this is by a long way. 40% of citations are pulled from ChatGPT. And what that means is, if you're searching for the best marketing agency in London, guaranteed it's going to be pulled from Reddit. It's going to pull from lots of sources, but it's going to be searching Reddit. And if we look at what's been happening recently, is both Gemini, both OpenAI have signed deals with Reddit to pull as much data as they can from Reddit. So Reddit, having a strategy on Reddit now is probably the most crucial thing to ranking with AEO. I'm going to walk you through the automations in a sec that we've built for Reddit, but obviously what you've got to be careful of with Reddit is that it's very anti-AI, anti-self-promotion. So making sure that you are fitting in and blending in, but also pushing your brand name in, is tricky, but can be done through an automation, and we've done it multiple times. Also, citation monitoring. So like, where are you on different search engines, AI search engines? Because an important thing here is to be tracking results. So also, we got an automation which allows you to track where you are on ChatGPT, Claude, and I can walk you through where we're pulling data from in a second. Then we got the technical agent, and this is super important, and often something people completely forget, but what we have to make sure is that your data is structured for schema markup. So essentially, it's just a block of code which tells large language models, this is a question, this is an answer, let's say in an FAQ block. So when you're writing content, when you're adding new blog pages to your site, it's also important that we have the technical side covered. Now, the Wikipedia agent is another interesting one. This is because actually the second most cited source by AI is Wikipedia. So having a presence on Wikipedia. And where we can't just obviously spam Wikipedia, what we can do is we've built a system to analyze whether your client is able to have a presence on Wikipedia. So it looks for citations, because obviously to get onto Wikipedia, you have to have different kind of bits around the internet which mention your name. So it's important that we have an agent which looks across the internet, says, can this client be listed on Wikipedia? And then also helps with WikiData. So for those of you who don't know, Wikipedia is the front end, which we all see to the internet, but then WikiData is the back end, which is shown to large language models and used to train and cite sources like ChatGPT. Quora is also super important. I think it's going to become something that's even more important, similar to Reddit. I think we'll start seeing OpenAI and Gemini, Claude sign more agreements with Quora. But it's slightly easier to promote yourself through Quora, and a lot of the times answers are being pulled from Quora. So just like Reddit, we want to build a similar strategy and have a similar kind of implementation plan in place to get your brand mentioned on relevant Quora posts. The Perplexity agent's super interesting because this brings in something called Perplexity Pages. Now, for those of you who don't know, Perplexity Pages has gone pretty viral at the moment because it's tied into this thing called parasite SEO, which is this idea of if you can get your site mentioned by loads and loads of high domain authority websites. So for example, Perplexity is a super high domain authority website. And if you can get Perplexity linking to your site, you have a much better chance of building a higher domain authority and getting ranked on Google. So what people have been doing here is using something called Perplexity Pages, which is essentially Wikipedia, but written by AI. So anyone can publish a post. Perplexity kind of cites sources and helps to write it, but you can very much control the content that goes in it. And if you write a Perplexity Pages blog post and link it over to your site, you have a very high likelihood of being listed on Google and having a high domain authority and climbing those ranks quicker. So also Perplexity is something we want to look out for, especially as it is a very, very popular AI model itself. Content repurposing, again, super important. And the reason this is important is because of what we call, SEO isn't as important as it used to be. Now it's about general engine optimization. So we want to be able to, rather than just write a blog post, we want to have a blog post and turn it into different sources. So for example, how can we take a blog post and turn it into a YouTube video, turn it into a Reddit thread, turn it into a LinkedIn post, turn it into a Pinterest post, mention it on Instagram. And the more places that we repurpose this blog into, the more likely we are to be listed on ChatGPT, because this is what it's about. Like I said here, it's not about position, it's about coverage. How many people can we have talking about our source? So I think the most important thing, and this can't be fully automated, but the most important thing now is to be able to have a team and have a system which can take a keyword or an idea for a blog post or a topic and repurpose that into not just a blog post, which has been properly kind of marked up by the technical agent and properly researched, but take that blog post and turn it into a YouTube video, turn it into a relevant Reddit thread, and turn it into a Medium blog post. Like, go across all these different sources and not just spam different blog posts, but build authority by repurposing and repurposing. So that is super important. And then the review agent. And what this is going to do is essentially have a look at which reviews you're getting online, because this is super important as well. If you have reviews on Trustpilot, on G2, the more places you can have reviews, the more authority you build online, the more likely you are to be cited by large language models. So it all comes back to these four key positions. You need to have authority, you need to have general coverage of the web, and these AI agents can help you do that. Now, let's get into basically how we've built these agents, how they're set up, and how you can set them up for your business. Before we do that, just a quick note, front end we've used Lovable and Airtable. We've only used Lovable for this, which is basically an AI citation performance dashboard. Essentially, where are you ranking on ChatGPT, on Perplexity for relevant search terms? And then, of course, the back end has been built through NA10, which is an AI agent automation software. So let's get into how we actually built this. So a quick demo of what this looks like on the front end is this. We have built it all in Airtable. We got different sections for Reddit, for LLM, for schema markup, for Wiki, for Quora, etc., etc. Starting with the Reddit, what this is doing is pulling through relevant Reddit posts to our target keyword. So every day it is searching for new Reddit posts on the internet and is pulling them through to this Airtable base. Then it's pulling kind of key information out of the post, like for example, how many upvotes has the post got? How many comments? How old is it? And then also importantly, how many times has it been cited by an LLM? From there, it gives us a score from 1 to 100, essentially saying from all the posts we've pulled through, these are the ones which are most important for you to interact with. Then it's even going to go ahead and draft a suggested comment, and we can go ahead and literally select that to posted, and it's going to fire up an automation and give us the post once it's been posted. The next thing is about LLM rankings, and for this, we're using data from Data for SEO, which powers a lot of the automations we've built. It is the best and most affordable API to use when you're trying to pull in any SEO data. Now, something really, really cool that they have just added is this. If we check their documentation and look at AI optimization, you can see we can pull in data from Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, and pull in all of their responses through an API. So super, super useful if you want to track different keywords and where you're appearing across these 4 main large language models. So as you can see, that's exactly what we've got up here. We've got an automation set in place to search these keywords every week and see, are we appearing for this response? Next thing is what I mentioned is schema markup. So the automation here is whenever a page is posted, go ahead and write the schema markup automatically. All this is just the kind of OpenAI node, which is given all the HTML of the page and implements this schema markup. But then we also have an API to this case in WordPress, which is going to go ahead and push to the Google Tag Manager so we can actually have it implemented onto the page completely automatically. And that's a huge time saver. If any of you have tried to implement schema markup before, you'll know it's quite a long process of taking the HTML, running it through ChatGPT, adding it over. So fully automated here. This is what I meant on automating Wiki Entity Tracker. So essentially what we do here is we take the person's name or the company name and we see whether they have a Wikipedia page or not. If they do, we can leave it there. If not, we have a look at basically how likely are they to be able to get a Wikipedia page, because realistically, all we have to do is have a Wikipedia page, but that is slightly difficult to do. So it does all sorts of things and pulls sources from the kind of basically where are you being cited already as a brand or as a person, and then gives the Wikidata ID once it's been published and the Wikipedia link. So this is essentially a place for you to kind of manage whether your clients can get on Wikipedia and how easy and realistic it is for them to be on Wikipedia. Similar thing here we've got with Quora, and what this does is pulls through different questions people are asking on Quora. It categorizes them into what type of questions they're asking based on the keywords which we are looking for, again gives an engagement score, and then goes ahead and drafts a few different comments. So one is we've got a value only comment, so we're not trying to promote our brand at all. The second one is a brand mention, and the third one is a long context. So essentially we just kind of mix up these 3 different Quora types of comment to make it seem nice and natural and make it much more kind of less AI spammy and build more credibility on Quora. Then you can see once it's been approved, and once it's been published, you get the Quora URL. So you can manage, again, everything through here. Okay, so the content repurposing agent works by pulling trends and what people are talking about from either Quora or Reddit. It's going to scrape every day to see what people are talking about and then pull through the relevant URLs. This is what I mean about basically getting authority everywhere. So we can see what sort of questions people are asking. How can small businesses use AI? What's the best way to learn prompt engineering? These are all questions real people are asking in real time. And then we build the content repurposing system. So what's a comment? Firstly, we can reply on Reddit, on Quora to this question. Then what's a blog post we can write about this? It goes ahead and drafts that. Then what's a YouTube video or YouTube video script in this case that we can go and film a video about? What's the schema markup for the blog? So everything here fully automated and fully added. And this is one of the most important bits of AEO, content repurposing, taking real problems and real questions that people are asking and building authority on different places from those comments. Now, finally, we got the review tracker, and this is just super important to monitor what reviews are you getting as a company and also what reviews are your competitors getting. Then we can basically analyze, is it a case of us needing to build more reviews? Are they getting cited in any sources? So you can see here, some of these reviews are getting cited straight away into Google AI overviews, Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity. So we can have a look at where we are getting reviews, where our competitors are getting reviews, and whether it's something that we need to work on and improve. So as you can see, this system is fully engineered to handle every part of your AEO. Now, unfortunately, what I can't do is walk you through every NA10 workflow that we've built because, well, this is what I sell. But what we can do is attach below the Reddit automation, and you can go ahead and set that up. If I were to pick one of these workflows that you should implement, it'd be Reddit. Every brand needs to start building authority and a reputation on Reddit. So go ahead, in the description there will be a Reddit NA10 workflow, a Reddit Airtable setup, and you guys can go ahead and set that up for yourself. If any of this looks interesting, let's chat, because we've implemented this into multiple SEO agencies who want to offer AEO as an upsell. So if this is something that you want to bring into your business, your agency, let's have a chat. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Cheers.